Okay, time for some Cigar Basics. I'm going to let you know about how a cigar is constructed and some of the basic stuff like filler, binder, etc. Be right back. Cheers. Cause we're the Talk the Tavern. I'm Travis Sivart of Talk of the Tavern, and I'm just going to let you know some basics here. So, cigar, right? And by the way, you're going to see me looking over here as I'm checking my notes. There's a lot to remember, and I want to make sure I don't forget anything for you. So, with your cigar, you have the cap or the head. Of course, your cigar band, your foot. Now, inside, there's the filler, which is most of the stuff inside. This is the wrapper on the outside, and between those two is your binder. Now, just so you know, there are dozens of different types of wrappers, and I'll get to that in another video. But right now, as I mentioned in the cigar gauge and ring video, the measurement of this is by the 64th of an inch. So if you have a cigar that has a ring gauge of 32, it is a half inch. Of 48, it is 3/4 inch. 64, it is 1 inch, etc. They do have different names for different cigars. A lot of companies are taking a little bit of liberty with that now, so it's not the same as it was. So Churchill, Corona, Double Corona, etc., they used to have standardized sizes. They no longer do. Gives you a general idea of what you're going to deal with. You know a Churchill is going to be long and not too thick, whereas let's say a Robusto is shorter and a little fatter. So, let's see what else we got here. Went through that for you guys. Okay, you'll hear long filler and short filler. If it's long filler, it's basically cigar leaves that have been dried and rolled into the shape of the cigar, or at least as long pieces. If it's short filler, to be blunt, it's the scraps. It doesn't mean they swept it off the floor, though, some people would say that happens. It's the stuff that it's not a whole leaf anymore. It's broken up bits, and that's what goes in it. Generally, you want long filler. It's a better quality cigar instead of little shredded pieces. Now, what else do we got here? Got that. See, I told you I'd be checking my notes. I just want to make sure I cover everything for you. I think I could have made less details and notes, made it more basic because it's got to fit in a couple minutes. So once they've rolled it, they wrap it with a binder. That binder gives you a lot of flavor inside. They then put it in a mold so it stays there for about an hour to get its shape. And then they cover it with a wrapper and then a cap. That cap is generally glued on, not with Elmer's glue or anything, probably a sugar solution, something along those lines. So your wrapper, when you do that, you're pretty much just smelling the wrapper. It doesn't mean you're smelling the filler. Some people say smelling a cigar tells you nothing about it, which in some cases is absolutely the truth, because there is such a strong smell in the wrapper, you can't actually smell the filler because the wrapper is surrounding it and blocking the smell of the filler from coming out. Your filler is what gives you strength, and we'll get to strength in another video. Not gives you strength, it's not Popeye and spinach, but the strength is cigar. Okay, so the wrapper. Generally you have, there are dozens, if not well over 100 different types of wrappers, but the basics are double Claro, it's your green one, your Candela, your Claro, which is a light tan, almost beige, sometimes called a Connecticut wrapper. It's very pale. Colorado Claro. It's kind of the medium brown, found on most cigars, that natural looking brown. Colorado, which is a bit more reddish. Colorado Maduro, a bit darker, usually associated with the African tobaccos, the wrappers like the Cameroon and whatnot, and Maduros. which is your very dark brown or even black. So, there are some basics for you. Check out some other videos. Share this video with folks who might need to know it. But this will get you started with some basic knowledge that you'll never need to know again. And subscribe.